What is Web 3.0? Before we can unpack what Web 3.0 is, we first need to understand what Web 1.0 was. Web 1.0 or Web 1.0 was essentially the early stage of the World Wide Web as we know it, when it was primarily focused on static images and read-only platforms. So there wasn't really a lot of interactivity to it. It was a very one-dimensional approach to how we used the internet essentially. Web 2.0 was essentially the transition to a more interactive, a more collaborative, social internet. That's really portrayed within social media. So you think of your Snapchats, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, those platforms. It felt like there was another person on the other side. There was more of a call and response aspect to it. It felt like it was almost a three-dimensional experience. You could see the people, you could hear the people. And fast forward to today, we're at Web 3.0, which essentially aims to create a more intelligent, a vastly interconnected and personalized web experience. So Web 3.0 is a very complicated topic and we can go through so many different avenues, but we'll keep it very top line and very simplified so everyone understands. So here's a couple of use cases of Web 3.0. Personalized shopping experiences based on user preference or past behaviors. Obviously that's portrayed in if a person goes to a website, their favorite brand for example, the experience they get is dynamically different from another person's depending on their habits or how the machine learning model understands that particular user. Another example is improved healthcare services through real-time monitoring and analysis of patients' health data. So what that is if we have a specific device that can track your heartbeat, for example, and that can detect a particular type of illness or disease, or can maybe alert your doctor to what's going on with you. Third point here is very obvious. So when we talk about Web 3.0, I feel like decentralized finance and cryptocurrency is what people really think of. So that's one example. Essentially having no gateway or no border when you want to transact with other people and vice versa when people want to transact with you. There's a lot more privacy. You're able to buy, sell, convert currencies at a rapid pace. There's more security. Everything is timestamped, so there's no fraud essentially. So that can be used much more than just finance, where that can be used in art, digital art. And then final one here, very similar to point one, is having enhanced education through a personalized and adaptive learning experience. So you might have an educational platform that can dynamically personalize its modules or way of teaching you by the way that you want to learn. So it might have a onboarding process that kind of gets to know how you work, how you usually learn. Are you more of a visual learner? Are you more auditory? Are you more of a kinesthetic learner? When we talk about Web 3.0, it really boils down to the technology of blockchain. Understanding blockchain technology is another video itself. It can get really complicated real quick. But there's a great quote just to summarize blockchain and I guess its use within Web 3.0. It is a new utility network for moving value and moving assets. And so that's Web 3.0. If you enjoyed the video, if you have any questions or suggestions, leave them below. Until next time. Peace and love, always.